Hey guys, what's up? It's Shla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Shla. And today, I think we're still on the somber trip. I don't know. What I've been thinking about and what I've been dealing with has just made me very contemplative of these things. I think about the nature of modernity, how joy is not something that is forefront. Joy and happiness, these are traits that aren't prioritized. They're just not. The system isn't really designed for that. Not really at all. Whoa. This guy sorry, I don't know why he did that. Anyways, I probably would have dodged it if he, it wasn't that crazy, but it could have been dangerous. I don't really know what that guy was doing, pulling out like that. Anyways, things aren't really centered around joy at all. And it's interesting because on a surface level, on a perceptible level, it is. On a perceptible level, we're optimizing more and more for dopamine. Obviously, the advent of short-form content is extremely conducive to these things. Our modern lives seem to be more hedonistic than really at any other point in terms of being able to efficiently maximize pleasure. We have the tools, and yet more and more people are more and more miserable. Why does this occur? I think personally, it's due a lot to chaos. It's due to a major lack of order and a major randomness with things. I think I've brought this up. I've mentioned it a lot before. And there's just a lot of things that are so random and weird about America and society at large. It just doesn't work. Why are we so car dependent? If there's ever an oil crisis, then what do? It just doesn't make any sense. Why don't we design a system that is not so car dependent? Why don't we do something about that? Why don't we fix things? It's like, I don't know. I just don't. Am I like the only person who thinks this way or something? It just seems very crazy to me. But it's extremely frustrating when you think about what modernity cultivates. And I want to say it cultivates an intellect. It really puts intelligence at the forefront of what we deal with. And you think about the somber nature of the post-2010s as, we often think of the 2010s as a fairly happy time, a fairly cheerful time, and really the 2020s have just been a disaster in comparison. in terms, like, by most metrics, things have just gotten worse. And culturally, you look at the types of music, the lyrics of music, and over time they've gotten more darker, or maybe these trends aren't super clear, but I kind of feel that way. Like, a lot of the older music just captured a certain positivity that newer music is not really capturing. And it's not like a hatred of modern music or modern design in the slightest. It's just what's resonating with people. I don't think people are really resonating with joyful music to the same degree that they once were, because we don't experience that in our lives. What is modern life really? What are we doing? What are we accomplishing by being here? It seems to prioritize intellect. I mean, humans can be smarter than ever before. We're given the tools to, but it's up to how we use them. Because other people use these same tools to become more dumb than they would have been otherwise. How do we square this? How do we make sense of it? How do you have some people who are recording conversations while they're driving home, mindful conversations, and then you have other people who are scrolling TikTok during their ride home? And who's really better? I mean, it sounds like it becomes a superiority thing, but I think what's began to become more and more prevalent is it really, And a lot of it, my brain is doing what my brain is doing. I just am not at peace with consumption. And I think the longer time is going on, I actually feel like as I'm getting older, my brain is getting even more, it's getting even more difficult to let loose and to consume. And there's a mounting pressure that I have to create, that I have to do something. Things just aren't really that appealing to me anymore. And it's tricky because I want to network, I want to work with people, but more and more with the energy that I'm getting and just how I'm feeling, I feel like I have to pursue things alone. Yeah, there's this mounting pressure where I think my life has been in a continuously optimizing state where things really were good. Things felt pretty good for a long time. For a long, long time. But they're reaching a point now where it's, I don't know, it seems like the older I get, the less I'm able to just relax or just chill. Seems like with what I've been through. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but it's a pressure. It's a pressure to create. It's a pressure to want to do things that are meaningful. And it's working in a contrary motion to what the general trend of things is now. With the general trend, it's the opposite. It's people seeking and wanting to delve deeper and deeper, further disconnected from it all, drowning in whatever it is they fancy. And more, we can see whatever we want. AI is making that literally the case. And it feels strange because I get on here, it's not always coherent. I don't always know what to say. And again, would I be happier before, but is there a timing to this? Is there a certain concoction about modern life that it breeds more of a cold intellect? It forces this upon us. It forces those who do have a mind and who are in this sea to really ponder things. Those that are able to witness it, at least, because fortunately I'm blessed enough to do so. I have a job that is reasonable. I have a commute that's long, but it's reasonable. I wouldn't say my commute's bad, although it's definitely longer than people, anyone would really want. It's not a short commute. But, usually I can avoid rush hour, traffic, not something I have to deal with super often. And it's what's led to me, having this space to think, to have the idea of car rides with Schla, I'm not sure if I would have discovered it. And I should have been recording more before, but I don't know that I was ready. I still wonder if I'm ready, I guess time will tell, won't it? But to have this environment and to have the space that I always had my whole life, it hasn't been necessarily great for me in a happy sense, but I don't know if everybody's just given a happy life. Solitude, it's not necessarily just pure joy. It's not. There's caveats that come with it. Same with how constant interaction is not a joyous thing either. And I think as I'm growing as a person, I have to re-enter more of a solitude. And what that means is a true relaxation, a true quietness, more of an ability to sit back and just process things, and I think embrace the path in front of me and embrace the path in front of everybody. Why are we all on the paths that we're on, And again, to feel the somber feeling and to put words to it, there has to be a meaning to that. There has to be a reason for the experience. And it could just be cope, but I just don't like to think that way. I don't think it's very artistic. I don't think it's very human to just believe that the ideas we construct are just cope and to just do what? What should I do instead? Should I be scrolling TikTok while I drive home? Should I be watching movies while I drive home? My brain, it gets overstimulated by too much consumption. And that started to be the case. I noticed it. I have to create, and I just didn't know what the avenue was. So it was a very arduous time. Feeling like an artist, but yet having no artistic skill. And even now, I still don't feel like my voice is at my potential. I don't feel like when I speak, it's at my potential. I still feel and wonder if the way I say things or the words, if they come across properly, So I'm saying I still feel like I'm training. And I don't know, but I'm happy to finally have discovered my outlet and to see that this wasn't just a fling. We're dangerously close to the 1-year anniversary, which is very interesting to think about, of course. Why we're here, how we're here, what's going on, It's very interesting. It's very interesting. But I wonder if I should just stop stop trying, accept the solitude of modern life and accept it. You know, I've tried to avoid it, and it's true that I would be happier with companions, with outlets, but what if that's just not really what is the point? What if that's just not the point? Why do we talk to people? Is it really for any reason other than we get bored? And a lot of people describe it as a fear of missing out thing. I mean, it just seems like a disaster. It seems like a mess, and I don't even see half the time what the point or the purpose is. I just wonder, you know? I just wonder if it's time to embrace it. Because I've tried very hard and I don't have any fruit to show for it. There's nothing. I don't have anything. For whatever reason. Just never met the right person. But there could be a reason for it. And again, the articulation, to have these articulations recorded and to have them permanent, there's a meaning behind that, and it's a meaning that a private conversation doesn't capture. That's the whole thing. The whole thing I've been slowly coming to terms with is that there could be less of a value to a human connection. There could be less of a value if the human is not... Okay, I don't... Wow, this guy really... He just pulled out really slowly. And he's driving really slowly. Well, doesn't look like his car is doing too good. It looks like there's a lot of smoke coming out from underneath it. I kind of thought he was going to go to this side area, but he didn't end up doing it. But whatever. Yeah, how he drove was kind of strange. It looks like one of his tires is kind of low. But I couldn't even really get around him. You know? Yeah, I mean, you know, there's probably something wrong with his car. I don't know why else he would be driving like that. But he's not taking the exit, so guess he's just going 30 miles per hour on the highway. All right. Well, I hope that guy's okay. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that before. anyways, yeah, I mean, it's almost, it's interesting with these things. These things are interesting. What is a friend? Why do we have them? It's strange. But again, it's not something that I can do anything about. It's not something that I don't have control over. It's almost like I should be listening to my own advice about free will and just taking it in the other direction, like embracing it fully. You know, maybe for my own things that are personal, things that I do have control over, that's free will. But the other things, maybe you just have to leave to fate, because it's not worth all the confusion, all the stress that comes up trying to chase things that, you know, aren't really there. And you can have hope. I mean, I've kind of defined that hope's important. That's something I want to work on. But it's not, I guess it's not about a lack of hope. It's about something else. That's not a lack of hope. It's, again, having no expectations versus low. Trying to unravel that conundrum, which could be possible to unravel. Could be possible. We'll just have to see. It's been a fast 2 weeks, but I have a feeling the next 2 are going to be slower, and I think that's probably okay. Life used to feel slower. In a way, have I lost my own sense of calmness? There's certain things that I lost. You know, I think a lot of these topics of mindfulness, of being spiritual, they're more trendy. Even the occult, they're more trendy. They're more overt. But are they actually more actualized? I don't really think so. I think there may have been a peak of these sorts of things when the internet was slow enough for us to use properly. But now it's just gotten too fast, and I feel like people associate with certain identities just in the name of them being able to slap a label on themselves. I don't know if it actually means people are even adhering to the beliefs that they want to adhere to. Many people say they're Christian, and then, you know, are they actually? Probably not. They probably don't really adhere to all the precepts. Many people identify with certain things. Now you have people who love a show or a movie, but they couldn't tell you a thing about it because they can't really pay attention to it. It's a strange kind of thing. And I mean, in a way, I think we were always kind of like that. We couldn't grip the details properly. And we had these vague memories or vague associations. And, you know, you like certain characters or you like a certain series, but what is actually there, you don't know it. Can't absorb it. I guess some things just can't be caught or they caught. Some things can't be taught or they can't be absorbed. I mean, I've talked about this before. There's actually a lot of things hidden within media that a lot of people just don't see or interpret within art. But yeah, I mean, if you can't see it, if you don't understand it, then what are you going to do? Or is there ever really going to be a benefit? Probably not. And so I think we're losing the soul of humanity. We're losing the soul. We're losing ourselves to the machine, and the machine is not working. The machine is broken, but we keep having to give more and more to it. Because it's broken, it needs different replacement parts, and we're tired. We're not really taking care of it. We don't want to. We would rather sleep. We would rather not think about it. We'd rather have fun things on our mind. So the solitude that we have, the quietness, the isolation that some of us have, because other of us in modernity are just overstimulated and just have bad quality socializing. We have bad quality noise, and that's not better. It's worse. And there's not really many people left still living in a healthy middle. There's just not. There's not much. Not much of that left. There's not really an opportunity given to cultivate those things. There just isn't. But yeah, I mean, what if there is a need to embrace our lives? A need to just do what we have, like, I don't know, do what we can with what we have. I mean, I don't know. I want to say that's how everybody acts. They don't really think too much about things outside of that scope. Do what we can with what we have. Because really, what can you do? It always seems confusing. We rush to get things done. We want to go home. We speed to get there faster because we have to do this, we have to do that. And there's so many spaces and settings and thoughts that get glossed over, ignored, and forgotten. Unnoticed, lost. More and more nowadays, more and more. Because it's difficult to just look out a window when you have a very nice, stimulating screen in front of you. It's difficult to just be in silence when you have a constant opportunity to do something else. Just weird. It's weird how we got here. It's weird how we lost the memory, the connection of how we got here. We just can't quite put our fingers on it for some reason. And we can't answer why. We just can't answer why. And what do we know? Moment to moment, life to life. And so much is gone, so much is missing. So much isn't achieved. Much is confused. Much is confused. So much. So much. Spin schla. Now it's time to buy schla. So, see schla.